So work energy and power pop quiz 2, which was related to, like, the topic is related to work energy and power. The mass of helicopter is 3,200. We need the change in gravitational potential energy. In physics, whenever like how the marks are distributed, you have to write a formula. Whenever a question is there, always write a formula. So if you need the gravitational potential energy, it is mass into gravity into change in the height. So mass should be in kilogram. If it is in gram, we convert into kilogram. Gravity, we take 9.81. And the height, the change in the height, 1,500 meter, it rise above. So when we multiply all these factors, 3,200 times 9.8. So 3,200 times 9.8 times 1,500. So this will give us an exponent like 47 exponent 6 joules. So that's the potential energy. So how the marks are distributed? One mark is for writing a formula and the second mark is for the final answer. A student catches a cricket ball. The speed of the ball immediately before it caught is 18. The mass of the ball is 160 grams. So we should convert, whenever you see a gram, convert into kilogram divided by 1000. Calculate the kinetic energy stored in the cricket ball immediately before it is being caught. So we have to calculate the kinetic energy. How to work out the kinetic energy? The formula of kinetic energy is half mv square. But why it's given 3 mark? 1 mark you will score when you write a formula. 1 mark is for the unit conversion. Like you convert grams to kilogram, you will score that mark. And then for getting the final answer, half 0.16 and the speed is 18 square. So this will give us about 26 joules. So that is a kinetic energy. The next is it takes 0.12 seconds to catch the ball and bring to rest. So whenever object stop, the final speed will be 0. So the ball was moving at 18 meter per second and it is caught by the student and the ball was stopped and its final speed is 0. It took 0.12 second. We need the average force. So how to work out the force? Force is mass multiplied by acceleration. And what about the acceleration? The acceleration is a change in the velocity divided by time. So the final, it's a deceleration actually because the ball has stopped. So its speed decreases from 18 to 0. So final is 0, initial is 18. And how much time it took? It took 0.12 seconds. So this will be 18 divided by 0.12. That's 150. Negative is there. What negative sign shows? It shows that the object is decelerating or it slowed down. So F is equals to ma. We need the magnitude of the force here. So mass of the ball is 0.16 and the acceleration is minus 150. You can substitute a plus. You'll get a negative answer, means the force is opposing the motion. So 0.16 times 150, that will give us so the change in the velocity. So it was 18 divided by 0.12, which was 150. And then 150 is multiplied with 0.16. That will give us 24. So this will be equals to 24 or negative 24 means it is opposing the motion. As a student catches the ball, she moves her hands backward. Explain the effect of this action on the student's hand. Look, the ball was moving at a speed of 18 meter per second. Okay. And the student caught the ball and student moved the hands backward. Like what the student did, student increases the time for the ball to stop. Because expression is change in velocity, like 0 minus 18. Divide, the final speed is 0, initial was 18. But what student did? Student, when she caught the ball, she moves her hands backward. As a result, when she will move her hand backwards, so the time for the ball to stop will increase. Like it will take longer time for a ball to stop. As it take longer time for a ball to stop, what happened to the acceleration? The acceleration will be lower, like it will decrease the acceleration. And when it decreases the acceleration, what happened to the force on the hand? The force will also decrease. Because if object is having a greater acceleration, the force will be greater. But if object is having a smaller acceleration, then the force experience will be smaller. So as a result, when it increases the time, it reduces the acceleration. And as it reduces the acceleration, it reduces the impact or the force on the hands. So we can say longer time, reduce acceleration and the force on the hands. In question 3, which row about the change of the energy in the energy stored must be correct? So we have to check which option is correct. The first one, water pumped up to a high altitude dam. For example, we have a dam and we pump the water to a high altitude. Energy stored, the gravitational potential energy. Yeah, the energy stored, because if it is pumped to a higher altitude, it will have a gravitational potential energy. And what happened to the energy stored? Because the height is increasing, so the gravitational potential energy will also increase. So A is a valid answer. Why not B? The water pumped up to a dam, the kinetic energy decreases. In this case, what is actually have the change of energy in store? Look, the idea is that the stored energy which is stored is the gravitational potential energy. Kinetic energy is not the stored energy. So any option in which we say kinetic energy is stored, that is totally wrong. Object possess the kinetic energy, but kinetic energy is not the one stored. So that's why B and D cannot be an option at all. Now we are left with A and C. But if you check air passing through a wind turbine, so when air is passing through a wind turbine, it does not change the height. So as it does not change the height, it does not change the gravitational potential energy. So there will be no change in a gravitational potential energy. So energy stored, because some of the energies can be stored and some of them are transferred. Gravitational potential energy, internal energy, these are the stored energy. Chemical energy is a stored energy. Is it clear? Question 3. Moving on to the next question. In question 4, a woman of mass 50 kilogram has the kinetic energy of 81 joules. What is her speed? So how to work out the speed? We have the formula. The kinetic energy is equals to half mv square. The kinetic energy is 81, half the mass of the woman is 50, and speed v square. When we simplify, 81 is equals to 25 v square. So this will be 81 divided by 25 is equals to v square. To get v, we have to take a root both sides. So 81 divided by 25 in a root. That will be 1.8. So C will be the right answer. In question 5, the child run up a set of stairs 4 times. The time taken for each run is recorded. What time is measured when the child, which time is measured when the child useful power is the greatest? What is the relation between the power and the time? They are inverse. If we take a short time to do a work, same work, means we develop more power. So in which one the time taken is the shortest time? So 10 seconds is the shortest time. So if we take the shortest time means we develop more power. That's why A should be the right answer for this. So this was a pop quiz related to work, energy and power.